Karl-Anthony Towns, you are a New York Knick. We've got breaking news late in September in the NBA as Leon Rose has done it again. The New York Knicks have acquired Karl-Anthony Towns in a trade that sends out Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo to the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is something that we have been following on this channel for over a year at this point. We all knew it was a possibility as soon as Julius Randle did not put pen to paper on a contract extension. And here we are. Karl-Anthony Towns is a Knick, and Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo are Minnesota Timberwolves. Shams Charania, with Woj retired, broke the news. The Knicks have acquired Cat from Minnesota, Randle, DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick via Detroit. Head to Minnesota. Some other updates in this. We'll show you the full trade details coming up. The Knicks are also including salary in Daquan Jeffries and draft compensation to Charlotte and a 3-team Karl-Anthony Towns, Julius Randle deal. With the Knicks sending draft compensation to Minnesota, and the Knicks also sending draft compensation to Charlotte, and the Knicks attaching Donte DiVincenzo, I think that tells us who the best player in this deal was, according to both teams. I think this tells us that the New York Knicks were extremely motivated to get this deal done. And there was a multitude of reasons why the Knicks wanted to get this deal done. And I'll tell you why that is coming up in a second. But I want every Knicks fan watching today's show to share your thoughts in the comments section. Give me your one-word reaction to the trade. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. And you're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. So when that ad plays, scroll on down and let me know your one-word reaction to Karl-Anthony Towns being a New York Knick. My one-word reaction is wow. That was my initial one-word reaction. But then I thought, we knew this. Anyone that has been following this story, keeping track of the paper trail, subscribing to this channel, which if you're not subscribed, change it. Hit that big red sub button. We haven't missed on a Knicks move since Jalen Brunson became a member of this team. It was so obvious. How many times have we heard Julius Randle was tradable from the big wigs at ESPN? How many times have we heard the New York Knicks were interested in Karl-Anthony Towns? How many times have I done a video on this? Where there is smoke, there is fire, and it was a bonfire. We just couldn't see it. And the New York Knicks made this trade mainly for two reasons. Julius Randle could have been a free agent at the end of the summer and left for nothing. And they knew they needed to make a trade for a center. So what did they do? They traded Randle, who may not be here long term because he did not sign that contract extension, for a player that's locked into his contract, that's a part of the CAA mafia, that fits this team better than almost any player in the NBA. The New York Knicks now have arguably the best starting five in basketball, with Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl-Anthony Towns. The Knicks made moves to go out and get OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Boston Celtics. The New York Knicks make the move for Karl-Anthony Towns to play five-out basketball to go toe-to-toe with the NBA champion Boston Celtics. You've added a player to this team that is a four-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA player, a guy that in his career averages north of 20 points per game, north of 10 rebounds, and shoots better than 48% from the field and north of 39% from three. The Knicks wanted a player that elevated the ceiling of this basketball team, and that's what Karl-Anthony Towns does. Another reason the Knicks made this trade is because they could not count on Julius Randle performing in the playoffs. Whatever you want to say about Randle, for the reasons he didn't play well against the Hawks, for the reasons he did not play well against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the reason he didn't play well against the Miami Heat, it does not matter. The New York Knicks traded a question mark in Julius Randle when it comes to playoff production for proven production. Karl-Anthony Towns averages more points in the playoffs than Randle. He averages more rebounds than Randle. He averages less turnovers than Randle. He shoots 13% better from the field than Randle. And he shoots 7% better from downtown. We also saw Karl-Anthony Towns play unbelievable basketball in Game 7 for the Minnesota Timberwolves against the NBA champion Denver Nuggets. The Knicks want to play 5 out. The Knicks want to say, my 5's better than your 5. Come guard us. And it's going to be really tough when you have OG Anunoby in the left corner shooting above 40% from 3. You're going to have Mikal Bridges in the right corner shooting above 40% from 3. You're going to have Jalen Brunson at the top of the key running a pick and pop, pick and roll with Cat, with Josh Hart roaming in that dunker spot, playing that Draymond Green role. The New York Knicks might be the most complete starting 5 in the NBA. And I still like their bench of Cam Payne and Deuce McBride and Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson when he gets back. A trade still could be coming. A main reason I think the Knicks made this trade is, though, that they believe in Deuce McBride. This is a Deuce McBride channel. We did a video 2 weeks ago saying that he's going to be the X factor for this team. Little did we know that he was now going to be the first guard coming off the bench for this basketball team. Deuce McBride is a lockdown defender. Deuce McBride is an improved shooter, shooting above 40% from 3 last year. Miles McBride is a winning basketball player who's on a contract that might be one of the best value deals in the NBA. I am very sad that this is an end of an era for the New York Knicks. Look, I didn't love Julius Randle, the basketball player. I can admit that. But man, there weren't many people that could do what 30 could do. There weren't many people that could average 25, 10, and 5 and shoot 45% from the deck and 33% from 3. Julius Randle brought respect back to the New York Knicks. A 3-time All-Star with New York. A 2-time All-NBA player. There weren't many that can do what he could do. And I'm going to be upset, and I am sad that he's no longer a part of this team. But at the end of the day, it's about raising banners. It's about putting things in the rafters at the world's most famous arena. And I've said it once, I'll say it twice, and I'll always stand on it. If regular season Randle were to show up in the playoffs, I think the Knicks could win the NBA title. But I'm not 100% sure that regular season Randle was ever going to show up in the playoffs. Julius Randle is going to be 30 in November. Randle is coming off major shoulder surgery, and the year before that, a major ankle injury. And his future with the Knicks was uncertain. The writing was on the wall. They had to do what they had to do. It also stinks that the New York Knicks had to throw in Donte DiVincenzo in this trade. I thought that DiVincenzo was going to be a New York Knick for the rest of his life. I didn't think that anybody else would be wearing number 0 for the Knicks for a long, long time. And I got a lot of respect for the big Ragu, man. The season started a little bit shaky, coming off the bench, trying to find his footing, looking to find a role on this team. But when he was elevating into the starting lineup, he was one of the best basketball players in the association last year, scoring almost 18 a night with excellent efficiency. And the thing that I respected the most about Donte is he is one competitive SOB. He ain't scared. Doesn't matter who he's playing. Doesn't matter where he's playing. Doesn't matter what the circumstance is. He's going to give you everything he got. He's always going to empty the tank. And in the playoffs, when the lights were the brightest, when the biggest moments required the biggest performances, DiVincenzo was there. What about the shot against the Philadelphia 76ers? Maybe the best moment of my life as a New York Knicks fan, as a 29-year-old. Donte DiVincenzo was everything and more that we could have asked for when the Knicks signed him to come over from the Golden State Warriors. But in the NBA, you got to pay to play. In the NBA, you got to spend money to make money. And it costs to be the boss. And right now, the Knicks are going to go toe-to-toe with any team in the NBA with this starting five. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl-Anthony Towns. It is championship or bust now. I did a video last week where I said it was Eastern Conference Finals or bust. But when you go all in before the dealer even lays out the flop in the river card, you raise the expectations of this team. And those expectations are now championship or bust. And I think they're going to do it. I think the New York Knicks are going to raise a banner this year. Because I believe in this team. I believe in this ownership. And at the end of the day, as long as number 11 is on this squad, they got a chance to do what this team has not done in 50-plus years. Grade the trade for me in the chat. I want everyone watching right now to jump down in the comment section and grade the trade. A, B, C, D, or F. If I had to give a grade for the trade, give it an A-. An A- is my official grade. I don't love having to include DiVincenzo. I don't love having to trade that Pistons first-round pick, which is essentially 2 priority second-round picks. And I don't love having to give up extra draft compensation second-round picks to Charlotte. But the Knicks got better today. They're closer to the goal, which is being an NBA champion. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. If you want to continue the conversation, I'll be available all night to do so. Give me a follow, and let's go Knicks!